Welcome to a new addition to Anthony T's Horror and Wrestling YouTube channel, Reviews from the Horror Show. Now, this used to be a print column on DocDiscussions.com. I kind of stopped that after 2 episodes because I wasn't having time to do any reviews, even though I really wanted to get 2 reviews so bad. But I've decided to bring back reviews from the horror show in YouTube format. And you can also see this on DocDiscussions.com as well. Now, the first film in the revamped reviews from the horror show is a film called Deathpock, The End. That's right, Deathpock, The End. This is the last film in the Deathpock franchise. I am not going to sit here and explain all 6 films of Deathpock, but I will highly recommend you go over to B Movie TV's official YouTube channel, as you can catch all 6 Deathpock films previous to this film here on their YouTube channel. And I have to say, I would definitely recommend most of the Deathpock films on B Movie TV's YouTube channel, as it just gets better from the first film on, as you get more of a story as this series goes on. First, it starts off with, I think, a 5-minute short film, then it grows all the way up to 6, where it's 35 minutes. And this film, Deathpock: The End, is a feature film, clocking in at 72 minutes, I believe. Somewhere around there. But the premise of this film, according to the back of the box, there is a killer slashing his way through a public park, and no one seems to be able to stop him. Cable TV bounty hunter Hunter Murdoch and investigative reporter Gail Storm join a group of locals to try and stop the killer's bloody trail of bodies. Will they? This film features appearances by Robert Mulkes, whom horror fans might know from House of a Thousand Corpses, and Lilian Mortis from an indie horror film called Cannibal Hookers. One of the things that I really liked about this film was the film's screenplay. I like how director / co-writer Ken A. Brewer and co-writer / actress Mary Gietve, if I'm pronouncing it wrong, I apologize, do a very good job in the way that they came up with the story for this one, as this film could have been a paint-by-the-numbers slasher film, but it isn't. The action just keeps moving on and on, as there's a good amount of kill scenes in this film. As like every Deathpock film, there is always going to be a lot of kill scenes. This one does not disappoint, as I think this is probably the goriest one of the franchise, as the effects were very good, which I'll talk about in a minute. But another thing that I also liked about their screenplay was the fact that it took maybe a minute or two to introduce each character of the franchise via a news interview throughout the course of the film. Because one of the things I was worried about Deathpock: The End was the fact that it's just going to jump from Deathpock 6 to Deathpock 7, and people who are viewing Deathpock for the first time will not understand what is going on. I like how the two take at least a minute or two to introduce each of the main characters of this franchise, as it really helped with the overall film. Because if I came into this film and this was my first Deathpock film, and I had no idea who these characters are. I would not care about this film. But thankfully, I like the fact that they did a quick interview with each of the main characters of the Death Park franchise, as it really gets you to know each of the characters, even though you probably haven't seen any of these Death Park films. But I thought it was a nice addition to the screenplay so that people who haven't seen them know why these people are going after this killer. And that's what really, I think, helped this film. If you're coming in not knowing what Death Park is. I knew what Death Park is, so I had no problem. But still, it was nice to see the screenwriters explain each of the characters to you in a minute or two, which is good because, well, if I'm watching a Death Park film for the first time and they're just going around chasing the killer, I like to know why they're chasing the killer. And they did a good job explaining that. The direction by Ken Ace Brewer was also very good here. I like how the fact that he does a very good job making sure he builds tension. Whether it's in the screenplay or whether it's the way he shoots this film, he does a good job building tension to a couple of the death scenes, which really makes this an entertaining film. This film also has some very good humor, as I like Doug Vaughn's performance in this film. He was funny as the bounty hunter. I like the fact that this film had humor as well. This was a fun film. I had a good time with this film. I would say this is probably one of the best of the franchise. It's up there with the last film and 5 as the best ones in this franchise, which you can find on youtube.com/bmovietv. But back to this review. If I had to give a rating for Death Park The End, I will give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. It's worth your time. This Blu-ray also has some features including alternate scenes, blooper reel, a quick behind-the-scenes video, and a music video by State of Grace Breakdown, which is a good song, actually. Definitely check that out if you're into rock. That's actually a very good song. So definitely check this film out, Death Park The End. It's available through Livid Media. For more information on Livid Media, you can go to lividmedia.org. I want to thank you for watching this edition of Reviews from the Horror Show. Don't forget to subscribe to Anthony T's Horror and Wrestling Show YouTube channel. Have a good day. Support indie horror and indie wrestling.